You mentioned biohacks earlier. Like, what are some of your favorite biohacks, as you could call them, or healthy things that you do maybe on a daily
Yeah.
basis?
Okay, one thing that I'm really obsessed with and I started wearing it in 2020 is the Apollo Neuro. Do you know that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a bracelet. It emits a vibration. I was having sleep issues. Shocking. Even though I can sleep a lot, I was having issues falling asleep. And so I really got the Apollo to help me with sleep. And it
Yeah.
helped, but it was funny. There's multiple settings on it. And one day, out of boredom, really, I was like, let me put this on the focus setting. I accomplished so much that day. And
Mm.
I was like, what happened? And I definitely have ADD for sure. And so I couldn't believe like how much that focus setting really helped me. And I've never looked back. So I wear it during the day on the focus setting. It's currently charging right now. I wear it
Mm.
to sleep at night. Certainly if I've done like a hard workout or travel, I put it on the recovery setting. When I wake up in the morning, I switch it to the good morning setting, which is new and nice and it like eases you into the day. And I just like I think for me personally, run a little anxious and a little scattered.
Most
It
people do.
yeah. So it really helps calm my nervous system. And
Mm.
that right now is my number one thing.
I love that you bring that up because I feel like a lot of people listen, you could have went a lot of different answers. Obviously, nutrition and movement are
Yeah.
huge ones in your world, and it should be in anyone's world. But
Yeah.
that idea of balancing your ANS, your
Yeah.
autonomic nervous system, because so many of us live on like full stream fight or flight sympathetic system all day into the night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like nonstop saber-tooth tiger around every single corner for some reason, even though we know it's
Literally.
not there, but that's how we
Uh
live.
I don't know. Sometimes living in New York City, I'm like, it's there.
Yes, I will second that. The beeping and the
Yeah.
people around you and yeah,
Yeah.
screaming. Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
even realize it. I've learned this 20 years living in the city. You don't realize like you don't get phased usually by like loud
Yeah.
sounds when you live in the city, but your
Totally.
nervous system does. Whether you
Yeah.
realize it or not, you have an uptick. You have
Totally.
parasympathetic activation. I mean sympathetic, and then you
Yeah.
don't have balance. Your cortisol
Yeah.
levels, you get adrenal fatigue, right? So finding little
Absolutely.
ways to balance it and give you more parasympathetic, and yes, technology is
Yeah.
wonderful for that.
It
So
is. Yeah.
I'm really grateful you were able to bring that up because too many people like totally avoid this idea of like, who
Yeah.
care? Like, let me just eat healthy and work out and I'll be good. And it's like that's not everything. There's a lot
No.
more to health.
Oh my God. So much more. And also like in conjunction with that, breath work is such a game changer
Hmm.
for me. So like not just meditation, but again, dropping me back into my parasympathetic nervous system and like focusing on my breath with such, and that one again doesn't cost anything. And I think
Nothing.
so
Yeah.
often overlooked. I'm just like, I catch myself during the day or even at night when I still might not fall asleep, like, okay, just take a
Yeah.
deep breath and
Right.
how much that can change everything, everything just calms down and gets a little like quieter. And we have the ability to do that because again, if you're in fight or flight, your cortisol's through the roof. Doesn't
Oh
matter
yeah.
really what you're eating at that point.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
And you can't truly digest, meaning peristalsis, release of bile, all these things. If you're in a sympathetic state, that doesn't happen. You'll have poor
correct.
digestion, you might have constipation, this and that. So it's like
Yeah,
that too is important. It's not just what you eat, it's how are you in a restful state. And if you need to take those
100%.
3 deep breaths, everyone should before they eat. Just
Yeah,
3 breaths, that's all it takes to reset. And then just
yeah,
like say a little like grace or gratitude while you eat.
literally.
That'll
Yeah,
keep you in a good mood and not release the cortisol right away if you're eating and watching something stressful out in the world.
100%. Yeah. And it again, it's those little things that are, it's the, whether they're rituals or their routines or practices, however you want to call them, they make such a difference when you piece
Such a
them all
difference.
together and like put
Yeah,
them throughout your day. And it's, again, it's
it's
a lifestyle and it's a life changer, really.
absolutely like it's one of my favorite quotes. It's the little thing. There's nothing bigger from Vanilla Sky. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
that there is nothing bigger than the little things, and that's what we have to
Yeah.
kind of sometimes focus on, especially when to be healthy. Kim, when you look forward at like the state of the health and wellness field, like what are you excited about? What are you kind of focusing on right now in the future?
Yeah. I am excited. I feel like people are paying more attention to their health.
They are.
And yeah, and so
You got to.
yeah, you have to. And I think that like, functional medicine seems and longevity seem to be like a bigger conversation than ever before. And so that feels exciting that people are really looking at, taking their health into their own hands. And certainly if we're looking, at longevity, again, it comes back right to nutrition. That's like one of the biggest things, the best things that we can do for ourselves. So I think that as a society, we're curious and we want to feel better. We want to live longer, and not only live longer, but feel better while we live longer.
Yes.
And so I think that just feels exciting that we're becoming more conscious to how we're living our life, what we're putting in our body, who we're surrounding ourselves with. And in that, I'm hoping too, like we're kinder to each other and we're just, working together as one, because, life can be crazy sometimes. And so if we can support each other and help each other along the way to feel better, the world would honestly just be a better place.
Completely agree. I love that message. And I feel like the last few years, as wild and as crazy as they've been, have a silver lining. It forced us to look at our current state of health.
Yeah.
It forced us to kind of, see what are the things I'm going to do to improve this, because I have to. It's my life.
Yeah.
It's everything, right?
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. So